Hey guys, Basic Gordon here. Until next time, you already know what I'm gonna tell you to do. Have an amazing rest of your day, and of course, keep that energy high. And we're back. Welcome back to Basis. Super hyped that you all joined me today, and shout out to everyone that tuned in thus far. As I always say, the show really isn't about me, but the dope people around the PNW doing amazing things, plus the dope things happening that you may have missed or simply might want to relive. Now, this week we will continue to celebrate 50 years of hip hop as we check in with producer Caesar over at a brand new art exhibition that's all about honoring hip hop music and the people behind it. Of course, we have to talk about the dope things that really went down during All Star Week. Plus, we're also tapping in with a cafe, bakery, and bar that's literally on the rise in Seattle called Hood Famous Bake Shop. We also catch up with DJ OG Blast to talk about the deets on Blast Fest. And because it is the third Saturday of the month, you already know we got to tap in with our good friends over at Traveling While Black, Anthony and Marley Love, to give you suggestions on different places to visit around Washington State. Live your best life this summer and more. But up first, of course, we got to jump into Hot Topics. All right, you guys, today in Hot Topics, we got to talk about the thing that is taking over the internet, and that is Instagram threads. In case you don't know what's going on, let me show you. Now, when it comes to Instagram threads, I'm not even gonna hold you. At this moment, I don't really know how to feel about it, only because, well, I haven't gotten that far into the app. Literally just downloaded it a couple days ago. So maybe in about a week or so, I'll be able to come back and let you all know what I think about Instagram threads. But until then, hit me up on IG or on Twitter at Basic Gordon and let me know how you are feeling about Instagram threads, and more so if you actually plan on downloading it. And now it's time for the rewind. Did you know that Major League Baseball teamed up with Forest for the Trees and commissioned 7 diverse local artists to create baseball-themed murals that were literally on display in Pioneer Square for All-Star Week? Yep, it was a thing. My girl T-Dub caught up with Shakori Nelson to learn more about it. Check it out.
All-Star Alley Week for the All-Star Game, home of the Seattle Mariners. We're in front of the Ichiro. This is actually my first mural I did, actually. I've primarily worked with Canvas, so I was happy to be able to come out. Dom had me come out and put this Ichiro up. He's actually being honored, with All-Star Week, so that was honorable to do that. Yeah, I can remember, just grabbing my first Ichiro bobbleheads and collecting them. So it's just dope to be an embodiment of the city and representation of culture and be out here and show face. I say we haven't had a lot to be too excited about in the last decade, or more so, but I'm happy to see different elements of, bridging gaps of communities together and, being able to be an adult. I'm a father now, so I can remember when I was a lot younger and just being in the city and experiencing, baseball or sports as a kid, and now just getting to see little kids get to run around and have a different perspective and take it in and, see legends. They're legends now. They got Julio, we had Ichiro and Griffey, and it's cool just to be able to see the culture from a different perspective being an adult now. So I have inside the gallery, I have a Clemente, Roberto Clemente, and I have a Jackie Robinson piece in there, continuing on my gold frame style. I like to incorporate vintage gold frames into my work, and so you'll notice me in there just by that. My process, to be honest, I kind of freestyle everything. I'll start here, I'll go over there, then I put the ladder over here, so it's all over the place. Kind of like how the piece looks is really the way my mind works. Whenever I get to brushing, it's just however it goes. Whatever comes to me is what ends up being painted there. I've been an artist all my life. It was just more one of those things that as I progressed through life, more people would tell me I had a natural gift. And so I actually prefer music, and in doing music, I started to paint my album covers. And that's how it started, and that's how I launched Vision Graceful. Outlaw Money OMF is my Instagram. Vision Graceful is my art Instagram, and that's where you'll find me.
Big shout out to not only Shakori, but all the artists who participated in the All-Star exhibition, including my guy, Perry Porter. You can give the good people over at Forest for the Trees a follow on IG at FFTTNW to see what they have coming up next. Now, in other All-Star Week news, when I was in high school and still part of the Cutting Up dance team, at one point, we started having rehearsals over at Rainier Playfield in Columbia City. So you can imagine how excited I was to hear that Major League Baseball partnered with the Mariners and the city of Seattle to renovate the playfield as part of the, get this, 2023 All-Star Legacy Program. Earlier this week, MLB Commissioner Manfred actually joined Seattle's Mayor Harrell and the M's Fred Rivera at Rainier Playfield for a groundbreaking ceremony, and of course, our cameras were there.
We want to attract all kids to our game, but we feel a special obligation to make sure that there's no economic barrier to any kid playing baseball.
We're too great of a city not to do excellent things here for our public open spaces, for our children, for our recreational well-being.
This is a special day. It's a day we're going to remember for a long time. The Mariners and Major League Baseball are quite proud to be here and look forward to the results of our investment.
This is one of the most diverse zip codes, not in just the city, in the country. The number of languages spoken, religions, socioeconomic levels. And I say this is where the action is.
This field means a lot to me. As a young person, I was on this field. My son was a young person. He was on this field.
1, 2, 3.
Today we announced a renovation of Rainier Playfield, and in particular the baseball and softball fields here at Rainier, which will serve Rainier District Little League. It'll serve the Rainier Community Center and the entire neighborhood.
We want all young people playing the game. We feel it's particularly important to make an investment in communities where playing opportunities have not been historically available. That involves programming, field renovations, and making sure kids, no matter where they live, have an opportunity to play what we think is the greatest game in the world.
When they come down here, they will see in 98118 and 98144, they won't see areas that are neglected, but indeed invested in for the betterment of our children. So I'm pretty excited about this opportunity, and we want it to be impactful for everybody.
We love this project because of the multiple fields, the fact that it's going to serve young people of all levels, all the way from beginners right up through high school.
Also, community groups and activities use these play fields as well. So, you know, it's multifunctional, multi-usage and everything else. And, you know, to see the commissioner of Major League Baseball here in the south end of Seattle, you know, it's meaningful.
This investment here today is going to build and grow the next generation of HBCU players, the next generation of Mariners, the next generation of people who love baseball.
When I was a kid going to Garfield High School, and man, when you talked about Little League in the city of Seattle, and you had all these amazing teams out there at Garfield Playfield, you had the Frontiersmen, and you had the Padres, and you sit up in the stands, you like, hey, no matter, swing, you know. That was us, the love of baseball. It was such a big deal in our community.
This isn't the only MLB project underway across the Emerald City. There are at least 3 other initiatives getting funded as a way to improve access to baseball for underserved communities and serve organizations like Baseball and Softball Beyond Borders and more. In total, the MLB, the Mariners, and the Mariners Care Foundation are donating $2 million to the Seattle area. Now, something else that made my heart happy during All-Star Week was the first ever HBCU Swingman Classic. In case you missed it, we have a full recap of what happened and why it was so impactful to the community coming up right after this commercial break. Welcome back to Besa. As promised, we wanted to give you a recap of the history that was made in Seattle during All-Star Week. MLB, along with the Major League Baseball Players Association Youth Development Foundation, made history with the inaugural HBCU Swingman Classic over at T-Mobile Park, which was in association with Mariners legend Ken Griffey Jr., who actually brought out 50 of the best HBCU players right here to the Emerald City. Take a look at what happened in case you didn't make it. Now, I think it's clear that I will definitely be at next year's HBCU Swingman Classic happening over in Arlington, Texas. And for more information on the MLBPA Youth Development Foundation, please visit baseballydf.com. Now, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're talking about something that always makes me happy, and that is dessert, okay? Plus, we're going to take you inside a new artistic tribute to hip hop. You already know you are watching Back to Basa. Hood Famous in Seattle is a cafe, bakery, and bar on the rise, like literally. They bake their own Filipino-inspired pastries, breads, and more every day at their 5th Ave South shop, serving the community with unique and delicious items. And believe it or not, the shop started 10 years ago as a pop-up on Beacon Hill and now has become a thriving hub of cuisine in Seattle's Chinatown International District. We popped in during All-Star Week to check out this gym.
Really, in the beginning, our inspiration for the business was out of a love for Filipino food, gathering people, good food, good music, good people. We started off as a pop-up up in Beacon Hill about 10 years ago. I made an ube cheesecake, which is a purple yam, and you might see it a little bit more now, but a decade ago it wasn't as popular. We did a Filipino food dinner series for about 3 years, and that kind of landed us in what we currently do now, which is cafe food, and we're heavily known for our desserts. So Filipino, lots of Filipino flavors, lots of Asian Pacific flavors. So if you want something different, you come here. In this one area, you've got your beverage bar, and then on the other side is all food. But really, at the end of the day, we want this to be a community space where you can get a cup of coffee and something to eat and meet people, have a meeting here, work here, gather here. We have lots of pop-ups here. And then also it's a great place because we are so close, right, to T-Mobile. We're literally across the street. So we get such wonderful fans coming in. They can grab a drink because we're a bar as well. Chinatown International District, very, very special place. As you can tell, it says Chinatown, but it also has International District. And it's one of the few Chinatowns all over the nation that actually is one of the most inclusive neighborhoods of Pan-Asian cuisine, businesses, experiences, and I think that's what makes it super special. Welcome to Seattle, welcome to All-Star Week. My name is Shara Amlag, I'm the co-owner and founder of Hood Famous Cafe and Bar. We're located in the Chinatown International District, right on 5th, right across from the light rail station, right here in the heart of Chinatown International District, and it's a stone throw away from T-Mobile Park, and we're excited to have so many people come and visit us.
Okay, who is ready for some cheesecake? Because I know I sure am. I love how Hood Famous uses traditional ingredients from the Philippines for authenticity and those brilliant colors. You can give Hood Famous a follow on IG at Hood Famous Bake Shop. Known for their championship-level success during their football careers, Doug Baldwin, Michael Bennett, and Cliff Averill are equally respected for their success in influencing change in their collaborations with community organizations. Now, back on June 23rd at the iconic Climate Pledge Arena, they hosted the second annual Champions of Change Basketball All-Star Game. Now, in case you didn't make it, our good friends Belle and Matthew of Double Team were there to capture the moment.
This past Saturday, some of the Converge fam got the opportunity to sit courtside at the highly anticipated Champions of Change Celebrity All-Star Game, a game that brought together sports legends and champions of change to make a difference in our communities.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to be here on our home floor, being able to represent for the Storm, seeing good friends, seeing old friends, seeing new friends. So, yeah, I'm excited. It's just amazing, being able to bring awareness to so many different great causes, be able to bring the game of basketball to people too. It's a win-win, and the city deserves it, and we're going to make sure we're also helping each other, but also helping the community.
The community, everything they stand for, everything Champions of Change stands for. It's the game is one part of it, but they impact the whole community. They bring them together. So for me, that's everything. There's nothing like it. There's no feeling like it. For me, you dream about times like this, right? Even though since I was a kid playing in front of the Sonics, different field, but still being here in Seattle is always fun.
Just to give back to the community for a great cause. Cliff Averill's my guy. He invited me to come out, show the people what they want, and just to put a smile on, families' faces. It feels amazing. It brings me back to my childhood, watching Gary Payton and Sean Kemp in this same, arena, same area. So I'm just happy to be here. I want to, put a show on for the fans and have a good time.
And now let's get to that crazy nail-biting ending, because regulation was not enough and the game was actually forced into overtime. The Lloyd Lynch team, led by the exceptional skills of none other than Jamal Crawford, emerged victorious in a hard-fought battle against the opposing team. Unfortunately, Doug Baldwin's team did have some great effort from Cameron Brink and Rodney Stuckey amongst the others on the team, but it just was not enough, and the Lloyd Lynch team would take the win.
We're going to win. What do you mean? Yeah. We're going to win. That's it. No other way.
But the Champions of Change Celebrity Basketball Game wasn't just about the final score or the celebrities or athletes playing in the game, but rather the community. It was a celebration of unity, compassion, and the belief that sports can create positive change in our world.
You know what? I think it's awesome. I think it serves two purposes. Number one, we're going to show that we in Seattle, we're a basketball town, right? This is a basketball market. We all know that. But I think more importantly, this shows the heart that we have here in Seattle. This event is going to raise so much money for a lot of organizations who are trying to pair the rope, do the work here in our community, making our community better. One of our biggest sayings in the Seattle Kraken, our motto is make us better, and Champions of Change, everything that they're doing here today is actually indeed making us as a city and as a community better.
Thank you to all for joining us and supporting the Champions of Change. Together we can make a lasting impact on and off the court. Let's continue to champion change in our communities.
You already know.
If you want to learn more, head on over to championsofchangefoundation.org. Now, on Tuesday, right before the All-Star Game, I had the pleasure of hosting the MLB All-Star Red Carpet presented by T-Mobile over at Pike Place Market. Well, where my job was to introduce all the players as they hit the red carpet. Check out what happened in this rewind.
Welcome you all to the 2023 Major League Baseball Red Carpet. Make some noise!
Hey guys, Base Garden here. Today I am currently at the All-Star Red Carpet located right here in Seattle, Washington over at Pike Place Market. And I have the pleasure of introducing all of literally the best of the best baseball players for the All-Star Game as they walk down the red carpet. Later on today, we're going to head on down to T-Mobile Park for the game. But honestly, this is just a really big moment, not only for me, but I feel like it is for my city and my community. The Mariners were watching me. They absolutely recommended me to MLB. And then, of course, that meant that MLB had to pull up on my social media. And when they did, apparently they liked what they saw. I'm able to host the red carpet in my city. And honestly, it's just really, really dope, really. Like,
It's a dope moment. We need more of this within our city. So for me, it was a moment that's really going to live with me forever, and hopefully we get another one soon. If you were at Pike Place Market for the red carpet, hit me on IG at Besa Gordon and let me know who you were most excited to see. Did you know hip-hop is 50 years old this year? That's right, hip-hop has been around for half a century. To celebrate the occasion, an art studio in Belltown actually launched an exhibition featuring local artists to honor the music and the musicians, both old and young. Our producer, Caesar, went to the launch party last week. Check out what happened.
It was a night to celebrate what has become one of the most popular music genres in the world. Hip-hop.
Like the hip, the hop, the hippity hip-hop.
While the Sugar Hill Gang's 1980 hit, Rapper's Delight, may have put hip-hop and rap on the musical map, this musical style started well before that, with a DJ spinning vinyl records at a party in the Bronx.
Talking about melodic bars, you're talking about Cool Herc, we're going back to from 1973 to 2023, and we're transitioning to everything that hip-hop is exuding to the culture.
The music has influenced and inspired the artists who unveiled some of their art at Basecamp Studios in Belltown.
I'm just definitely influenced by hip hop. It always shows up in my art, and you know, it just basically motivates me when I'm feeling down. You know, hip hop is definitely food for my soul.
For these artists, hip hop represents so much more than music to sing along or dance to.
Just letting you know that no matter what we go through, no matter how tough it gets, hey, we gonna persevere because we have for over 400 years. Ever since, you know, the first slavery ships landed in Jamestown, Virginia, and we were, you know, sold as chattel, we made it through.
Hip hop is that way. It's like a collection or a conglomerate of all the things that came before it, and it represents our culture well.
I feel like almost like I was raised on that music, you know, like my dad, you know, and my family. That was like an era that is not only unforgettable, but an era that we lived through that was really a story that was told about real life.
The artists showed their different styles to pay homage to the music.
That piece, the Lauryn Hill piece, ever since I was a little kid, maybe like 6 years old, I was inspired by her and her music and her artistry. So she was someone that I really idolized and looked up to.
This is actually Run DMC. This was my college years, and I really could relate to what they were bringing to the table. They really had an impact on me as a person.
Miles says that hip-hop is a representation of Black American life. While it is not restricted to African Americans, it started in the Black community.
Hip-hop has always had a special place in our community because it's raw expression. It's unbridled emotionality on display.
Art is a therapy, right? And so for me, as well as music is a therapy. So to me, it's almost like cross therapy. The subject matter of music actually allows you to change your mood, right? Happy mood, angry, whatever you're feeling, it's emotional. And I really try to put that forth in my art.
All of the artists I spoke to here at the Basecamp Studios told me how hip-hop influenced their creations, including tragedies like Tupac Shakur. Back to you, Besa.
Now, Basecamp Studios has more events throughout the month of July to continue celebrating music that has meant so much to many of us. Of course, you can keep up with those right now at basecamp206.com. Now, we're about to head to a commercial break, but first, I wanted you guys to know that I'm working on a new project where we talk about celebrating things all year round. Right now, we're going to talk about having Pride. That may have been in June, but guess what? People that are a part of the LGBTQ plus community, they live that every single day, so it is very important to make sure that you are supporting them all year around. I've been tapping in with some people from the community. One of them happens to be my girl T-Dub. Another one is an artist by the name of Bree. I actually caught up with them over at Pride Parade to talk with them about, well, how to have Pride all year round. So look, I want you to check out what they said. We're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we're tapping in with our friends from Traveling While Black.
So Pride is an excellent time to support LGBTQIA endeavors. newcomers, opportunities, people, individuals, groups, you name it. It's great to do that in June, but there's 11 other months where those individuals still need support, they still need resource, they still need uplift. So, I would suggest just going out into your local community and finding where, these groups gather. There's institutions and clubs and, centers of community for these folks that need help year round. So it's definitely important to make sure that you're tapping in with your local community, find the groups that are doing this work 24/7, 365, and support them.
The best way to support Pride all year round will be to go to the Sugar Shack every second Sunday, because it's a big thing, it's a big event, it's one of the biggest, and it's the one that keeps things going. I feel like that's the one that starts the next one that starts the next one. Learning about the events that come from that, I think that's big.
Welcome back to Besa. As promised, every third Saturday of the month, we're featuring the host of Traveling While Black. If you're new to them, Traveling While Black is a YouTube series that started up several years ago when Marley and Anthony Love moved to Seattle from St. Louis. They wondered where they would be able to go and thrive in their blackness and feel comfortable and frankly welcome. Now, 140 episodes in, Traveling While Black now has become a must-watch guide for both transplants and locals alike to learn about the great destinations across the region. Check out their recommendations for July.
Hey, what's up? It's Anthony Marley Love. We are the hosts of Traveling While Black.
And we are here to give you 4 recommendations of things that you could do in Washington State this summer.
First summer recommendation we'll call Chillin' in Chelan on the Lake. Summers here in the state feel as if they've been getting hotter. So, what could be better than hanging out at a lake? Especially one that is the perfect summer option for any and all lake activities. Whether it's fishing, boating, or our personal favorite, just chilling by the water. Chelan also offers dope hiking and biking opportunities, like the River Loop Trail that allows folks to get a lay of the area around the lake. Or for a more intensive hike, one could do the Elephant Head Trail at Chelan Boot Trailhead, so to get a 360 spectacular view of the whole valley. Definitely consider Lake Chelan for a visit this summer.
The second summer activity recommendation is an Adventure Fit guided outdoor experience in Walla Walla. Yes, it is true, Walla Walla is known for one of my favorite personal pastimes, wine. But we wanted to recommend something that families with younger members could do. Adventure Fit is a locally owned company that facilitates outdoor experiences in the Walla Walla Valley and Blue Mountains, and is a great way to enjoy access to some beautiful nature the area is known for. For our experience, we did a guided hike and also stopped by a National Historic Site in the area. Adventure Fit makes Walla Walla a definite summer recommendation.
For our third summer activity recommendation, we have an option right here in the city of Seattle. Special event nights at PacSci. The Seattle landmark has been a staple in the city for over 60 years, so you're probably already hip to the amazing exhibits that make it a great place for igniting science curiosity. But did you know that they also host fun special events throughout the summer that adds another layer of fun? For example, the Summer Nights Happy Hours. You can check out their website for a full list of days and times for those and other events.
For our fourth and final summer recommendation, we have Discovery Park right here in Seattle. This option is great for anyone wanting to experience the beautiful Pacific Northwest natural areas without having to leave the city. The largest park in the city sits situated on Magnolia Bluff, overlooking the Puget Sound. Visitors can bike the biking trails or walk 12 miles of walking trails that run through green forests and lead to 2 miles of tidal beaches. On top of that, the park also offers picnic areas, playgrounds, and public restrooms.
Again, all of these locations and activities within have been TWB approved.
And you can see a full overview of our experience at each on our YouTube channel at Traveling While Black and at our TikTok page at TWB Seattle.
So, until next time, beautiful people, stay up, stay true, and do you.
Keep up with the loves on YouTube and TikTok at Traveling While Black. Now it is time to jump into some events, and the first one we want to talk about is Blast Fest, which is being put on by my buddy DJ Blast, bringing all those Afro beats to Seattle on July 29th over at Seattle Center. Check out what he had to say about the event. This time around, I am interviewing another, as I would call him, a local celebrity. He was really literally just DJing at the All-Star game, and he has a whole festival coming up over at the Seattle Center. I would like for you guys to say, hey, how you doing, to DJ OG Blast.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. This is dope, man. This is different than our first interview, right?
Very, very, very different. Yeah.
Now, okay, let's talk some about Blast Fest.
Yeah.
And being like, first of all, what made you want to throw a festival?
I mean, so again, I live in Seattle now, so I consider this my home.
Mm-hmm.
And I was traveling the world, and I couldn't do the things I was doing everywhere else in this city, you know? And I was like, why not? And so in my head, I'm like, okay, if I go to a new country, what do? I go try their food, I listen to their music.
Mm-hmm.
What's a music festival? Food and music, right? So let's bring something to Seattle. Let's give people an opportunity to explore the African culture, to see what it's about, listen to Afro beats, try some food, you know, do all these different things.
So, okay, once people pull up to Blast Fest,
yeah.
Break down what is going on.
Yeah, so, you know, the tagline of Blast Fest is let's go to the moon. You know, let's blast off, let's go. It's at the Space Needle, so it's already this, you know, just intergalactic experience, right? You know, the hope is upon your arrival, you do feel like you've been transported somewhere else. You know, through both the sounds, the food, the vibes, all the activations, all the different things that we're doing.
Okay, well, let's talk about some of the performers.
Yeah, let's do it. So
who do we have?
We have Ashake. Ashake right now, literally Rolling Stone released a list about 2 weeks ago for the next 25 artists to look at over the next decade. Ashake was number 1. and that's our headliner. That's who's coming to Seattle, right? And we have T.Y. Savage. She just performed at the King's Coronation, right? You know, she was in Beyonce's Lion King. We have Ira Starr, who's like the princess of Afrobeats right now. You know, we have Focalistic. He's the king of Amapiano.
Where can people buy their tickets right now?
Yeah, you can buy your tickets at www.blastmusicfest.com /tickets. And everything is there, everything you need to know. If you have any questions, you can go to Blast Music Fest on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, any of those. Or you can reach out to me directly at OG Blast, and that's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that. If you're a Seattle resident and you still want to come to the festival, there's a code called Converge. Just type in Converge on the Blast Music Fest website. You get 10% off of any tickets here.
Blast Music Fest is happening over at Seattle Center on July 29th. If you haven't got your tickets yet, you still have a little bit of time to grab them right now over at blastmusicfest.com. Now, we're going to go to a commercial break, but when we come back, we have a few more events to talk about. Welcome back to Base. You know, every single week I got to give you those events that are happening around our city and even some parts of our region that you absolutely need to know about. First up. All right, you guys, that is it for this week's events that you need to know about. Of course, we do this every single week, so if there are other events that you want me to know about, definitely hit me up on IG at Besa Gordon, or you can send me an email at backtobesa@whereweconverge.com. Until then, look, we're jumping into our commercial break, but when we come back, we are jumping into the affirmation of the week. Welcome back to Besa. You know, every week we end the show with an affirmation. This week's affirmation is, I am an artist of life. I have the power to create my dream life. Now let that sink in a little bit. Do yourself a favor. Try to write it down a few times a day. Personally, it is a part of my morning meditation, so I say it every single morning. But look, friend, until next week, you already know we are going to come back next week, talk about more events you need to know about, more hot topics, more dope people around the region that you may know or may need to know about, and then also rewind those events you may have missed out on. So, of course, until we get back, look, make sure you have an amazing rest of your day, and of course, keep that in mind.